Okay, what if we have an exponential equation that we want to solve, and your book shows ways you can solve algebraically and graphically. We are not going to solve these graphically, okay? But I have 8e to the 2x equals 20, okay? So if you remember, I said our first step was to get the exponential by itself, so I don't want this 8 here. It's being multiplied by this. So I'm going to divide that out, okay? And I'm going to have e to the 2x equals 2.5. And then my next step is to find the log of both sides. But this is an e. So the log I find on this one is going to be a natural log, okay? So I'm going to do the natural log of e to the 2x equals the natural log of 2.5. Now, this goes back to one of our properties of natural logs, okay? If I had the natural log of e to 2x, it's just going to be 2x, okay? So that goes back to one of your properties in that blue box that we looked at. So because these are inverses of each other, they're unto each other, so I just get from that 2x, okay? And I want x by itself, so I'm going to divide by 2. And then this is what I'm going to put in the calculator. I'm going to do the natural log of 2.5 and divide it by 2. So let's put that in the calculator. So I've got the natural log of 2.5. Okay, so I have it there. And then I want to divide that by 2. So divided by 2. Okay, that's what it looks like. I'm going to press equals, and it gives me my decimal. Okay, now let's look at one more example. Okay, right here. This is very, very ugly one, but I want to just kind of glance at it a minute to show you what happens. I tell you what, I'd rather do example 6, factored out of GCF. Okay, so let's look at this one. I've got 3x e to the x plus x squared e to the x equals 0. Okay, so I'm going to factor out what I can factor out to. I'm going to factor out my e to the x so that I can try to get it by itself. Okay, I'm going to factor out my e to the x here, bring it to the front. I'm left with 3x plus x squared. Okay, and then I can factor GCF out of this thing. So I've got e to the x times x times what? If I factor out that x, I've got 3 plus x. Okay, so I've just factored a GCF there. I thought that would be a little nicer than factoring a quadratic. Okay, and then, so I can divide out my e to the x, because e to the x can't be 0. Okay, so basically I want to know do my little t-chart here. I want to know what values for these two things make those two factors 0. Well, x could be 0 and x could be -3. Okay, so I go back and do my little t-chart there.